Since soundtracks are a group of songs based on a movie, and this is a movie based on a song, does that make this a reverse soundtrack?
I don't want to go on any more adventures with you. You know, I want you to know that I pray for you all the time. I do. I really do. And I hope that you find whatever it is that you're looking for out there. Thank you for the CD.
I Can Only Imagine is a movie based on the song of the same name, written by Bart Millard of Mercy Me, and became the most popular song in Christian music history. This is a story behind how that happened. It is a faith-based film, and as such, can it appeal to both people who are Christians and people who aren't? Well, let's take a look with 5 things you might want to know about I Can Only Imagine. Well, this was a nice little surprise for Roadside Pictures, huh? Made it for $7 million, makes $17 million opening weekend, 3rd highest at the box office, and it's just getting started. Nice little surprise. I think this is a pretty good movie, and I'll go into detail on more of why that is, but let's start here with a little bit of a caution. This is a faith-based film, and I think how much you enjoy it probably will have a lot to do with your belief system. If you are a Christian, obviously this movie was made for you. If you aren't, well, I still think there's some things here to enjoy. Specifically, as a Christian myself, which I've talked about before, I kind of like how there's all these Easter eggs for a 90s kid like me who grew up in the church to like songs and bands that none of my friends knew about because they were in my nice little Christian bubble. So it was interesting to see my life on screen in that way, in an interesting way. But I will say this, if you are not a Christian, I also think there's some things here that will keep you engaged, primarily because this movie focuses on parts of the Christian faith that I think we can all agree on. Things like, parent-child relationships, forgiveness, redemption. These are things that we can get on board with, and I think no matter who we are, there's something that can be meaningful to us and something that can move us in that way. So no matter who you are, I do think there is something here for you. But just be warned, it is a faith-based film. One of the main things I really liked about this movie is that message about family unity and about redemption within a troubled family relationship, which, by the way, I would have never guessed listening to this song. There's nothing in this song that makes it evident where it came from. And so what I love about that is it means that I feel like the movie was necessary in some ways, that it had a point, that it wasn't just capitalizing on the popularity of this song. It actually does a good job at telling you why this song exists and how it happened in a way that is surprising and engaging and meaningful. And because it's all of those things, I'm never distracted. I'm always interested in what's going on in the story because all of it feels very fresh, very new, and not something I would have necessarily predicted. So the power and the emotion of that family dynamic works because of how unexpected all of that is. And here's another thing. The acting is really good in this movie. I think faith-based films are kind of growing up a little bit. Dennis Quaid is great, as he should be. He is a consummate actor. He's done great work before, and he's doing great work here as this father. But more surprising than that, this newcomer, J. Michael Finley, I don't know where he came from, but he's phenomenal in this movie. Maybe it's because I wasn't expecting a newcomer to be this good, but I bought into it. I bought into the emotion of it. I bought into the joy of it. There's a real joy to his character that, by the way, I've met the real Bart Millard, really encompasses who he is. So I really fell in love with what he was doing in this movie. And because the performances are good, it's not distracting from the movie. And that's why it's important, because it brings you in instead of pushes you away. So bravo to these actors. The other thing the movie has going for it is the song itself. It's an incredible song. There's a reason it's the most played song ever in Christian radio. There's a reason that non-Christian radio stations played this song a lot, because there's something about it that transcends just the Christian thing. You don't have to necessarily be down with JC to believe in the hope that this this song is talking about, that this song, what it means, and it's sung so beautifully and it's written so well. It's a powerful song. And here's the thing, the movie builds to this song in the movie, and he sings it in the movie, and it's at a powerful place in the movie. And honestly, I was hoping it wouldn't do that because I thought it would be cheesy. I thought it would be taking advantage of the popularity of the song, but it's not. It works in the story. It's beautiful, it's emotional, and surprisingly comes away as authentic and not cheesy. So I think they handled it very well and took advantage of the popularity of the song without overdoing it and making it too cheesy. So let's talk about a negative to the film. It's a little bit slow. It takes its time, plods along a little bit more than I wanted it to. Now, I was involved in the story that was going on. I was involved with these characters, so it wasn't like I wasn't engaged. You could just kind of feel had a little too much space to it. Some of that is editing. Some of it is what I call the snow globe effect, and this happens with faith-based films specifically, where there's a difference between shaking up a snow globe and seeing how beautiful it is and then going into a snowstorm and feeling how real it is. Christian movies a lot of times have a tendency to be a snow globe, and other movies have a tendency to be the snowstorm. They just feel more real and authentic and dangerous. And a lot of that has to do with a faith-based movie kind of sanding off those edges for the audience when it comes to the rating or different things like that. And you just kind of feel it. You can just kind of feel the pace that it brings and the sheen that it brings. It's just a little too glossy. And this movie does suffer from that just a little bit. It's not something that necessarily impacts, again, my enjoyment of the film, but it's definitely something to be aware of because it does have an impact. Overall, though, I still had a good time with this movie. I think if you are a Christian, it's obviously going to be one that you're going to want to see. And if you aren't, and you happen to go see it, I think you're going to find some emotion there and some beauty there with the relationship between this father and child and what happened in their story. Overall, I thought it was good enough to get a solid B. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. Before we do, let's connect further. Hit me up on Twitter, Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. Love to talk movies there. Also talk movies and TV and other pop culture things on the podcast every week. That's called SiftPop, SiftPop. Subscribe. Wherever you do your podcast thing, just search for SiftPop. You'll find us. Also YouTube. Subscribe, comment, all that kind of fun stuff. Would love to have you hanging out here at YouTube as well. And thank you to the supporters who actually keep this channel going with your dollar bills every month. $3 a month can help support and keep these reviews coming. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. That's at patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. All right, on to the Best Ever Challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. This is a little interesting one. Let's go with Best Ever Movie where a song is a central plot point. Not that has a cool song moment in it, but where the song is actually a plot point in the film. Now, I think right on the border of this is probably Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Those songs almost feel like plot points, but they're not. They're just cool songs. I'm going to have to go with the movie where the song was about flowers, and there were Nazis. Nazis and flowers. There's your clue. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point. Love to see your choice there as well, or put a clue to your choice there. Make us guess. Would love that too. As always, I'll give you a few extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just when it pops up, click my face.